In this problem, I was asked to do number 21. So there we go, that's the one. And get that to close down. There we go. So we're supposed to graph the quadratic function locating the vertices and x-intercepts. So we have p of x equals negative 2x squared plus 2x plus 12. And if we want to complete the square, we have p of x equals, so I'm going to have that part grouped together. Factor out that 2, the negative 2, so it's x squared minus x plus some blank plus 12 minus negative 2 times the same blank. So what I want to point out here is I'm adding negative 2 times this blank, so I have to subtract negative 2 times the same blank. So we first look at the coefficient of the linear term being the one that has a power of 1, the variable has a power of 1, and that is negative 1. So negative 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. We take that negative 1/2 and we square it, and we get 1/4. So I'm going to be adding 1/4 in here and 1/4 in here. And what does this really do? We have p of x equals negative 2 times x minus 1/2 squared. We've completed the square. So if you remember that completing the square is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So my b squared is at 1/4. So b must be 1/2. So it's a minus b squared. Okay, I'm not finished down here. So we have then plus 12 minus negative makes it plus. 2 times 1/4 is 1/2. So our p of x is negative 2 times x minus 1/2 squared plus 12.5. So our vertex, if you recall the standard form of this, let's kind of call it f of x to keep it simple, is a times x minus h squared plus k. I shouldn't say the standard form. That is the vertex form. So our vertex is at hk, and h is 1/2. It's supposed to be a minus something there. And then the k is 12.5. Now because our leading coefficient is negative, it's going to open down. Let's get a few more things. Let's go back to what we have. We have negative. If we take that negative 2x squared plus 2x plus 12 and set it equal to 0, we can factor this out and find the x-intercepts. Because the x-intercepts occur on the x-axis, and y is 0 on the x-axis. So I'm going to divide everything by negative 2. We'd have x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. And that would factor to be x minus 3 times x plus 2 equals 0. So x minus 3 equals 0 means that x equals 3. And x plus 2 equals 0 means x equals negative 2. One more thing I want to find is the y-intercept. So this was finding the x-intercepts. For the y-intercept, there's only one of those. We're going to have x equals 0. So we find p of 0. So it's going to be negative 2 times 0 squared plus 2 times 0 plus 12 equals 0. So it's going to be 12. I should have said this. That's 3, 0, and negative 2, 0. Whereas the y-intercept is going to be 0, 12. Okay, so we have all the pieces we need to graph this. And the vertex wasn't at 1/2, 12.5, yes. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's up to 12. And we're at 1/2, 12 and a half, so someplace right about here. And we know at 12, or at x equals 0 across the y-axis at 12, and we know it's going to cross the x-axis at -2 and +3. So I like to change colors. Let's see, red. It's going to look something like that. Okay, hope that helps.